Hello, I am Naomi Beth and I call myself the Naughty Oracle. And different topic today. So it'll be a little bit lighthearted at the start and then it's going to get into some nitty gritty things about what I believe in with death and ghosts and new beginnings first and then death and ghosts. Bit of a wild topic. Everybody has their own viewpoints on it because we have no proof of what happens to us when we die. It's only what we feel, what we experience in our perspectives and our knowings of our energetic self. So, yes, it's very interesting when you start looking at your belief system around death, etc. But anyway, it is based on a card in my deck. The Naughty Oracle coming out in December 2022. The card that I have is based, so the death card that I have in the deck of 44 cards that I've created is based on that there's a death and then new beginnings are needed. So it's all about, so when you have tarot readings, etc., if the death card comes up, it may not necessarily mean a death, physical death. It usually means new beginnings. So I'm going to talk about my card first, get the lightheartedness part of out of the way, and then I'll talk about some serious stuff. Oh, I know, me, serious. Okay, I can do it. But first, let's get the giggly bit out of the way. Okay. So the card that I have for new beginnings is this beautiful one here, Dickweed Death. I'm trying not to let him shine for you. So it's new beginnings are needed. So you can see the Grim Reaper here. He's had enough. He's banging his head against the brick wall and it's bleeding because, you know, he is human, really. Not. But so the Grim Reaper, he's like going, and banging his head against that situation again. So that's really what the death card in my deck is about, is that you are repeating the old patterns and you need to start again, break the patterns, remove whatever it is that's happening, and get rid of that. Anyway, so let's have a look at a bit more of the detail that Dorothy has drawn for us. So Dorothy Davison, she's the Ineffable Artist on Instagram if you want to look at some more of her work. The links for everything that I have is in the description box below, never in the comments, just the description box below. So go and have a look at that. My Linktree profile's there and it's got all the links to all our stuff that we do. Okay, so you've got your beautiful scythe here and it's got crystals and feathers, I think. Let me look at that a bit closer without the glare on it. Yeah, so it's a beautiful little scythe wand. And not only that, I love that she's put in a jagged edge on the actual scythe part. So, you know, it's not an easy, smooth transition sometimes when you start new beginnings. It may have some little blocks along the way. So that's Dickweed Death and New Beginnings. So let me read to you what I've written for this card. A new start is needed. Let go of the past. Stop banging your head against a brick wall because it's not working. What you are asking about, that relationship, that work choice, that creative idea, it is not working. You need to start over. So what you thought is not worth the effort you're putting into it. So stop now, let it go, and what are you fucking waiting for? Do I have to scream at you again? Start again. So when you get this card out of the deck, these are the questions you ask yourself. Am I scared of failure? Am I scared of success? How can I begin again? What small steps can I put in place now to start again? Here's your healing statements. Ready? Deep breath. I now choose to let go of what no longer serves my highest purpose. I now walk away with ease and grace. I am ready for a new beginning. And that's what death means as a symbol in signs, messages, dreams. New beginnings are needed. Okay? So that's dickweed death. All right. Off he goes. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, Mr. Grim Reaper. So let's get into, I'm going to talk about my personal views of death and why they get me through the chaos of life. So once upon a time, I feared death. I thought it was something to be scared of. And I thought it was something that we had to fear, and the way we die, etc., etc., etc. And this was instilled through me, through my religious beliefs that I had as a child, through movies, through news reports of wars and chaos and all sorts of things. And so all that fear was put into me about death. So if I may have died throughout the different parts of my life, holding that fear, I may have become a ghost. So having that fear keeps you stuck in the earth plane. So having the fear of death and having the fear of anything that, you need unfinished business, all that sort of stuff, that is your ghosts. Ghosts can also be visiting people who have passed, who have cleared all their issues, etc. But they need to come in to say to you, I'm okay. Or you need to think about this family pattern because I'm here, because that's the lesson I brought to you. Sometimes they come and visit you for that. So, yeah, lots of things about ghosts. I might talk a bit more about that. But so that's one of my personal beliefs. If you find comfort in what I'm saying now about the death and things like that, then I'm happy for you to be here, and thank you for being here. But this is what gets me through the chaos of the world that is around us, especially in the current times of war and pandemics, etc. I think we need to understand that there are other beliefs that we can have with the energetic self as well, the soul self. So when I look at death, I think of, okay, when I die, I will leave my physical body behind in this form, and my soul will head to, some people call it heaven, I call it another dimension, and it is a space where I will review and look at this lifetime that I have had, and go through and go, oh yes, I learnt that lesson. Oh no, I didn't finish that lesson. I'll have to go back next time, because I believe in past lives and coming back. So if you don't complete a lesson of the soul in this current lifetime, then you can choose to come back and finish the situation. Otherwise, you can, I'm going to go into different things, but anyway, of what my beliefs are. But yeah, you can solve it in other ways if you don't want to come back to the physical plane. There are other dimensions, etc., where you can learn the same patterns or clear the same patterns, etc. But there's a lot of earth karma at the moment that needs to be cleared. So this is what's happening with the chaos at this time. We are really quickly clearing the planet's lessons, really. Anyway, these are just my personal views. Remember that if you've got any questions, you can comment below and I'll try to answer them the best I can, or you can email me at thenaughty@gmail.com and have a private conversation there. Yeah, I'm usually active on Instagram mainly, not the other ones, just so you know. So Instagram and YouTube are the main places where I get time to answer any questions, etc., if you need me. So we're talking about what happens when we die. So we go to heaven where we review our lessons that we've learned, what lessons we might have to continue to learn. And then if we want to come back and help the living that are still here in their physical body. So we can pop in and say their last goodbyes if we need to as ghosts. And we can come and visit and just reassure our loved ones that we're okay in their dreams during the evenings. Yeah, so there's lots of different things like that. So when you have this belief system that there is something else that we go to, then it becomes less fearful, because like I know that I will see the souls that have been here with me on this planet and have left the planet already. So, you know, I know my grandmother will be there when I leave. And I know she comes and visits me. I know my best friend will be there when I go. I won't see her as her form, but I will see her and recognize, my soul will recognize her soul. So we will have that connection, and we will be able to converse in the soul form. She has, my best friend has come and visited me with her father, who was also passed, and they were driving me around in a car, and we had the music blaring, and you know, it was like the good times that we used to do. And so that was a lovely dream to reaffirm to me that, you know, those two souls had found each other and were having a good time. Okay, so that was confirmation in my mind that I could let the worries of that family go, because the souls are happy. So I let the fear go, I let the worries go, and therefore I feel more calm in my physical body, because my soul has given me those messages to help me through my own grief with the family. So this is how my intuition and my dream work works for me to help me remain calm, remain sane, to, even though it feels like it's the dream work stuff is like insanity, but it keeps my physical sane, because I know I'm only here temporarily. So this is a temporary existence as Naomi Beth. This is a temporary existence in this physical form. So what am I going to work on myself to make myself better, to clear as many lessons and patterns that I can, so that I don't have to come back in this physical form, and I can just be in soul form, or I can go and experience a different dimension, maybe a different planet that is peaceful. Try to clear as much earth karma as possible before I leave this life, so that we don't have to return to the chaos. All right, so you're getting the gist of the ghosts and the ideas of how I cope with death, or physical death. I believe the soul continues on, becomes part of the light source, and it will return to the light source once its lessons are over. Your soul can take on many physical forms or many light forms. yeah, it's a different aspect when you start thinking of that, because then you treat, once you know that your soul can become other life forms, you treat other things with respect and kindness, because you know that that is a part of you. It's that soul light that's there with you. So I want to talk a bit about exit points. So I also have this belief that we have a lifetime plan when we come in as souls, and we have various exit points that we can leave the planet if we choose to do so. We have a lot of free will in our world. So near-death experiences can come in with an exit point. So that will be an exit point when you might be in a car accident, you're in a coma, and then you'll have a near-death experience of talking to your ancestors or guides, etc., angels, all those sort of things in the light, and then you decide to come back. So you decide to come back into your body. So that is an exit point, but you have chosen to come back to the planet to carry on with this life. Excuse me, just clearing some stuff. To carry on with this life so that you can get as much of these life lessons out of the way. So you don't have to come back in another body, and you can stay in this body and work through that. Okay, so that's exit points. Another thing I want to talk about is suicide. It is still the same as another death. Suicide, I personally feel that these souls have been strong enough. They have reached their limit and they know that there's something better out there. So they want to leave this physical body. And they want to, so it's not a planned exit point. It's where you're in between two exit points and you can't stay anymore for the trauma that's happening in your head or your soul or your emotions. And so you're strong enough to end it before your next exit point. So in those cases, they still go to the same place to review their life lessons. Now, in these cases, they may have to come straight back into a physical form and start again. So be warned, if you feel you need to suicide, you are still going to have to face up to the trauma that's there. Excuse me, I've got a buzzer going off in the background. I hope you don't hear that too much. Anyway, so yeah, just know that. So, those of you who are left behind after someone has suicided, I want you to know there was nothing you could do for that soul to stop doing what they did. They decided it was their choice, and because it happened, it was meant to happen. Okay? They then need to go and break that pattern, either in another lifetime, on another planet, in another dimension. As you can see, my mind goes off the rails. My insanity keeps me sane. So we need to remove the guilt and the chaos associated with suicide, because it is just another exit point, another death process that we carry as physical beings. We can heal it all. We heal all trauma and all wounding the best that we can with what we have right now. serious, eh? Told you. Anyway, and I want to talk about childhood deaths. So, as souls, we come in to a family that will help us to learn the lessons that we need to learn in this lifetime. Some of those lessons might be clearing ancestral patterns and behaviors. So, when there is a childhood illness and a childhood disease, and there's no other explanation for it, so it can be genetic, so they're clearing ancestral patterns and behaviors. They are actually sacrificing their soul journey for the purpose of the family, of the ancestral clearing. They have volunteered to come in and clear that. They have volunteered to come in to let you experience the life lesson of grief. This is tough stuff. This is trauma. But sometimes it's necessary to feel these things and to go through these processes so that we can clear a certain part of our soul that needs to be cleared with these experiences. Sometimes a stillbirth or babies, cot deaths, etc., they can be where a soul has come in. Remember, these are just my beliefs, and this is how I cope with the grief of the death. I still mourn the physical bodies, but anyway, the cot deaths and the stillbirths are, they've experienced the trauma of the childbirth. They've experienced the trauma of the family they've been born into sometimes. They've experienced the love of a family. And that is enough. That is enough for their soul purpose for that physical body, that physical lifetime. So then they exit. So the birth process, receiving all the love and unconditional love from the parents and the family that they were born into, was enough for them to have that experience of being loved, and then they can move on. And that was the only reason that they may have been born into this physical plane, was to experience that unconditional love. And once that happened, they could leave. They go and review and go, awesome, thank you. It is the individual soul's choice to exit this planet. It will be traumatic in some cases. It will be peaceful in others. There are always exceptions to the rule where chaos reigns. In those cases, there are other souls who are waiting for them to heal them and help them transition into the soul plane, into a new life, into wherever they're meant to be next. So these are my personal views on death. I'm happy for you to adopt them too if you so desire. But just know, if you get the dickweed death card in my card deck, it means new beginnings. Because with every death, there is also a birth. Every death creates a birth. It is a cycle of life. this is the cycle we are in. The physical plane of death, living, rebirth. Living, death. Living soul, rebirth, physical plane, physical soul, death. Soul, rebirth, physical, death. This is what I believe. So if you find comfort from it, I'm grateful to be able to share this with you. I think it's very important to know this. And just know, if those ghosts keep banging the doors and carrying on stuff, you can ask them to leave and exit out of the door, the energetic doors, okay? You don't have to put up with naughty ghosts, okay? Find a way to get rid of them. If I get smells and things that to tell me that my grandmother's around or my best friend's around, so there's certain smells that I have that trigger, and I go, oh, hello. So I might be cooking in the kitchen and then I know Winnie's here. And yeah, so just become in tune with the vibrations of the energetic world, and you will understand more about why we're here, why we need to just let the fear go and enjoy the ride. So this is temporary. We are only here for a temporary time. So it is time to find out what brings you joy, what brings you bliss, and work towards that. All right, it's been a big one, this one. Remember, all my links are in the description below, only in the description. Go there. I'm mainly on Instagram. Sometimes, you know, it's my social stuff. I'm going to have to get someone to help me with my socials. But otherwise, enjoy the ride. I hope you enjoy my views on death and ghosts and new beginnings. And you get something out of it. This is why I'm still sane in my insane world. It's because I have worked out what works for me to believe in, to cope with. Okay, beautiful people. Thank you so much for being here. I enjoy the ride. And yeah, go check out my other videos if you want to. And remember to like and comment and subscribe, so that way other people can enjoy this as well. Or share it, you know, just share it through your private messages to other people who you think might benefit from the viewpoint of someone who sees death differently. It's an interesting way to go. Okay, beautiful people, thanks for being here. Mwah. Love to you all. Bye.